Hi YouTube, I'm PJ, an adult human who loves Barbie dolls, and I am on a mission to rescue, restore and rehome Barbies with kids or people who are in need. So thanks for tuning in. Today I've got a thrift store Barbie, well actually just her head, that I've rescued and brought home to restore, so let's have a look at her journey. This girl I found in a box of body parts at a local thrift store during my lunch break, and so I decided to bring her home. And oh my gosh, she has seen some things, hasn't she? This poor girl, she's absolutely filthy. So her hair is in pretty bad shape too. So first things first, I just put her straight into a hot water boil wash just to loosen up some of that dirt before I went ahead and cleaned her up any further. So just with the boil wash, you can see some of the surface dirt has come off, thankfully. You can see there's a few little pock marks and things in her skin there, but they don't look so bad once she's cleaned up. So let's get a closer look here at what we're working with. The hair is in pretty poor condition. It's pretty matted on the ends there, a bit dreadlocky as well. So now I've just soaped her up with some dishwashing detergent. I find this to be the best thing to use, in my mind anyway. I think it's antibacterial, and you know, if it's good enough for cleaning things for you to eat off, then it's good enough for a doll. So here I'm just using a nice textured cloth to loosen up any more of the dirt, getting right into the ears. Her ears were really grubby as well, and into the hairline. There's still some bits and pieces in her hair, and check out the water. That is foul. How disgusting. And what on earth is that? I don't even want to know. That is gross, but it's coming out. So here's the no knots. We use that. That's actually a product for horses' tails, and I'm getting to the last of it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to replace it if I like it more than just regular conditioner. But so spray it in the hair and work it right through from the roots right down to the ends, just massaging it in with my fingers. And here you can see, when you can see the ends of the hair there, they're pretty matted, and there's some really weird curly bits in there too. So now just using the wide tooth end of this comb, hair cutting comb, I'm just working my way through from bottom to top. So starting with the ends and working my way up, trying to avoid as much breakage as I possibly can. What is this, guys? I think that's actually a cockroach leg. Ugh, it's so disgusting. Anyway, continuing on, combing through as much as I can, but these weird little curly bits on top. I don't know if anybody out there is watching and they've done some doll restoration before. Let me know if you've seen this happen before. So I wasn't having much luck with the horse hairspray, so just working my way through and pulling all of those little mats apart with just regular conditioner, just a pretty cheap one. And then here I'm just sectioning the hair off. You can see a bit of breakage there, which is not too bad considering how much combing I actually was doing in her hair. So again, just sectioning, like section by section we're working through, and my main goal here is to try and get the fine tooth end of the comb through from the root to the ends by the time I finish. So just really patiently working my way through. It's hard to do on camera too, by the way, so probably easier off. And yeah, these really weird little creepy bits again. I don't know. So if you've seen this before, let me know if you know what it is that's causing this. But in the end, I decided to pop her in the freezer overnight. I know that looks terrifying. And then after her hair's dried, after being in the freezer overnight, so you can see where those crimpy bits I've combed them out, and they are still looking pretty crinkly. So I'd seen other people, other creators and people doing doll restorations use heat setting tools for straightening the hair out. Oh look, bit of a bald patch in there. So we have had a bit of breakage, or that might have pre-existed. It was hard to tell by the condition of her hair when I got her. So just using these cute little mini claw clips to section the hair off. And now I'm going to use a straightening iron to flatten out the hair. Now, important, if you are a young person, not an adult person, you should get adult supervision to do this. I actually did burn my hand while I was doing this, and I am an adult person. Now, it's important to make sure that you turn the straightening tool to the lowest setting. So in this case, it was 150 degrees. So to the lowest setting, get it up to temperature and then turn it off. And then I'm just working my way through section by section. This is not very neat work that I'm doing here, guys, because doing it on camera is quite difficult. So you can see also I'm attempting to turn the ends under a little bit. So I'm just turning the tool towards myself as I'm pulling it through the hair to try and get those ends to sit under. I'm not sure if it was very successful, and this is my first attempt using a straightening tool or a heat setting tool for a doll. So I have lots of experience with my own hair, but with the first time with a doll. So I'm really just sort of being very tentative as I'm going along here, section by section. And one thing I've found is that you really do have to keep the doll steady and keep your hand steady and just go through in one smooth movement, because if your hand jerks or moves during sliding down the hair, it will actually leave weird little crimpy marks in the hair. So trying really hard to keep a straight hand, a steady hand, and trying to stop the doll from moving. Whoops, too late. So you can see there's some lines in the hair where the straightener has moved while I've been sliding it down the hair. So yeah, just now just working my way through. We'll do it time lapse. So now you can see getting to that crimpy, those weird little crimpy parts. So the straightener is actually doing a pretty good job on getting those out. So here I'll just show you in normal motion, normal speed. So you can see one of those little crinkly bits that we brushed out, and now running through with the straightening iron. And this actually seems to work really, really well. I'm pretty pleased with that pass there. That worked well. Then I went ahead and did some more off camera, just where I had a bit more control, and I'm really happy with how this turned out actually. Now you can see, I don't know if you saw, or you can see if you're looking on a larger screen, she's a bit thin through the front of her hair there. So again, I'm not sure whether that's through my work here or whether maybe she had some breakage or her hair was just thin, depending on how she was styled originally. So what I decided to do was style the hair back. So you can see I used the styling tool just to move the hair in that direction, and then I'm just combing it in that direction. I really do need something better to keep the doll steady while I'm doing this work. Now just trimming off the little ends, the little frayed and split ends that have happened while we've been working on the doll. So just snippy snip, and then I wasn't too mad about this triangular point here at the back, so I've just taken a little bit of that off, but keeping the main sort of rounded look of the hair there. Still smoothing as I go. I think sometimes the more you handle the hair, the more fluffy it becomes, but compared to how she was looking, it's great. So now a new body. I had this body from a previous head swap, so the skin tone's not too bad a match. On camera it looks better than it does in person, to be honest. So I went ahead anyway. So you can see she's a little bit darker. Her face is just a little bit darker, a bit more orangey or tanned than the body, but not too bad overall. And I think once she's dressed, you won't even notice. So now we're going to give her some lovely accessories. This is a little kit that I picked up from Kmart, which works really well. It's got these little pieces in where you can jig up some earrings, some hoop earrings. Now again, if you are a young person, a young doll collector, make sure you get an adult to help you with this. I'm just using a large embroidery needle and some pliers to pierce her ears. And then we just use the holes to poke through the earrings that we made. And look, what a difference. I feel like it just makes the doll look more modern. And now it's time for a new hairdo. I did say that I was going to style it back. What do you think? I fastened it with one of these adorable little mini claw clips, which I just think is so cute. And here she is before and after. That is pretty dramatic, I think. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got this far, I'd love it if you could leave a like, leave a comment down below, maybe tell me what you'd like to see next. I'm brand new on this journey and I'm really excited to do more of these restorations and rehome these dolls. So let me know what you'd like to see. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel so you can see when new videos come out. I've got heaps more plans, so I'd love for you to come along on this ride with me. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. And we'll just let our lovely little girl hang out in the doll lounge while she waits for her new home.